Good morning. This morning's video is going to be about what we see when we look in the mirror, when we're looking at that magnifying mirror and we see what bothers us on our faces, and what can be done as a solution or a treatment to improve those areas that you're unhappy with. So I'm going to be touching on so many different treatments, whether they are injectables or just salon treatments or home treatments or products that we can use to improve the problems that we see in the mirror. We're all very, very critical. A lot of my clients will come to me and they'll lie on the bed and they'll say to me, "Did you see this line or this enlarged pore?" And for the life of me, I'll put the magnifying light on, put my glasses on, really zone in, and I'm like, "Are you talking about that tiny, tiny little pore?" So clearly we are all looking very critically at ourselves, but we need to be happy with what we see in the mirror. So I want to touch on what can be done to improve those problem areas that you seem to feel you have. And I'm pretty sure I'm exactly the same. I look in the mirror and I'm like, it's definitely time to have my crow's feet done, because if I smile, I hate these little very crepey lines that go along the side of me. And some days my lids are a little heavier than other days, all depending on my sleep and my fluid retention. But anyway, we're going to start at the top of the face, and we're going to work our way down, right down to the neck area, basically. So for the upper face, what we can do is all of these lines that are motion lines that you can see if I lift my forehead or if I bring my forehead down, those are called the 11s. That is purely muscular movement that creates these lines. So the treatment for those, unfortunately, is injectables. You can improve the look or the visibility of these lines by microneedling, dermapen, and that's a longer process. But if you wanted to get rid of these lines or those lines faster, it would definitely be your Botox. So Botox in this particular frown area over here would be 5 tiny little shots. Unfortunately, this is quite a big muscle on most people. So it takes quite a bit of Botox into that area. Really a painless procedure. It's a 10-minute procedure to do all 3 areas on the upper face for Botox. Great bang for your buck. Lasts 4 to 6 months, depending on the person's use of their face, and also whether they are gym bunnies or they look after their faces, or if they smoke or in excessive sun. So that's a nice, quick, easy fix, but it needs to be repeated. I would advise that you do it every sort of 4 to 5 months, so that those lines, those resting lines, don't stay there, that your skin bounces back. You'll see if I relax, there are not too many resting lines remaining. If you are somebody who doesn't do Botox at all, you will eventually have 2 heavier furrows on the forehead. So anyway, this is a Botox area over here to paralyze or put to sleep those muscles that create that look, the angry look. And then there's the surprised look. And that is also these horizontal lines that are created on the forehead when you lift your brows and you're like the surprise look. And that is also remedied by a low dose Botox on the forehead. Also 5 tiny mini little shots with a very small insulin needle. And it takes about 10 days for the full effect to kick in. You start to see results in about 3 to 4 days, start to see, but full maximum results can be 10 days to 2 weeks before you can see exactly what's happened and whether you need a touch up or not, and what the movement has done. Now, a nice thing about doing these 2 together is that you get a very nice, when I do it as well on myself, I get a lovely brow lift. Okay, not an excessive brow lift, but a nice brow lift, because you can see that these muscles over here pull down. So if we put them to sleep, we're actually going to open up the eye nicely, which is great. So that's what I really need to focus on. If I look in the mirror, that's my bugbear, is heavy eyes. And if I go for my full upper forehead and frown Botox, I will have a nice lift around the eyes. My little Coco doggy has just wandered in during this video. Okay, then the other one. So then I'm sort of helping you with this area because this is a tricky area. There are surgical options, which are, it's called a laser blepharoplasty. So literally they use a laser and they take off this excess skin and then they stitch it back up. And it's fantastic. It lasts about 5 to 10 years. Then you need to have it repeated again. Can be done on the upper lid and the lower lid. I have a very good doctor that I refer my patients to if we are not getting results on dermapen, or if the Botox is just not lifting enough and they have literally no lid to work with, that the lid has been swallowed completely and the skin sort of is on the lash line. So that is the surgical alternative. The non-surgical but needle alternative is Botox, a brow lift. And then the slower corrective skin treatment is dermapen, because we do dermapen the upper lid, we numb it, and the lower lid. So both are needled, increasing your collagen and sort of stimulating collagen production in those areas. So that takes care of sort of that area. Now I'm going to talk about these. These are also great if you wanted no needles at all. You could do a little bit of radio frequency and a facial on them. It is the slowest method, unfortunately, of getting collagen production and thickening and becoming more viable skin in that area. The other alternative is microneedling or dermapen, which is a must in that area. You should be doing it anyway for the entire face. It really is my... Until I'm 90, I will be definitely microneedling my face. And then the quick fix is injecting Botox once again. It's 3 tiny little shots on the orbital rim here. Quite a high dose, because this muscle is the muscle that sort of closes our eyes. So you'll have a look, and we need to relax that. And then we won't be able to keep doing that motion over there. Okay. Under eye area, I've covered in a previous video, just to try and thicken up that skin and make it more viable and healthy. You need to either be doing radio frequency, doing dermapen, and the other alternative is fillers, hyaluronic fillers under the eye. But there is a very, very specific candidate for fillers under the eye. We need to see a nice hollow that we're going to fill. So I would not be a candidate for filler really under the eye. I would be very worried that the filler would then become visible, and instead of having a hollow or a smooth area, you might see the filler, and there's nothing worse than all the pets are coming in today to say hello. There's nothing worse than going from a smooth under eye to then having a lump. So that is just, you've got to be very careful. You've got to go to a very advanced doctor for advice, whether they would touch that area. Okay, then we are going to go to the nose area. Some ladies have got a little bit of a bump in the nose and a sort of a hollow before. So I have a very, very straight bridge of my nose, but you get a lot that have sort of a groove and then a hump. That is quite a nice, easy fix with fillers. If the hump, and if you are the right candidate, again, your doctor will tell you, they will close that area and just inject filler to straighten the bridge of the nose, which I really don't need. I have a large, long nose, or as my family call it, a Roman nose. And there are Botox methods as well, with African clients, whether they want to drop the tip of their nose or change that. So they are new, but they are all injectables. We cannot alter the shape and the makeup of the nose without injectables or surgery. So it's either going to be Botox, fillers, or plastic surgery. Okay, then we're getting to my favorite area, the malar cheek area. That is magic, especially if you're very unhappy with these nasolabial lines. So the lines from your nose to your lips, the corner of your lips, that is so dependent on the lift on your face. Do you see when I do that? And if I do that, what happens to your face? So by increasing the volume in your cheekbone area with fillers, you get an entire facelift. You'll see I've got filler in this area. It's quite angular when I get to a certain point to show you, which I absolutely love. And that's given me relief in this area over here. So that's what can be done in this area. Your dermapen, your RFs are creating your own sort of filler in your skin, but it's a very slow method. So if you're wanting a quicker, more instant, visible result, you're going to go for your hyaluronic fillers and just have it put into this area over here. And that's really going to help you with those lines. If you have very bad lines from here to here, we will do a spread of filler, a little bit in the malar to give a malar lift, and then we might just do 2 shots on each side of filler just to smooth out that groove. But you need to have movement there. That's part of your expression. So you'll see when I'm moving my face, you do need movement there. In actual fact, with all of these treatments, the aim is not to have a stock, stiff face. It's to be able to express, but that the skin bounces back nicely. So there's a really nice balance between over-treating and under-treating. We need to just try and get it just right. So that is that sort of area over there. Then we get the ladies with little barcodes, or the little horizontal lines that go into the lip line. So they are the non-injectable method is definitely microneedling again. When I microneedle my ladies and they're nice and numb because the lip area is so tetchy, we really concentrate on the upper lip. We even go into the lip slightly. And that is going to definitely plump up immediately those little lines. And in the long term, you're creating collagen. And that is going to stop that lip from creasing. And smokers, unfortunately, because they're constantly pursing their lips like that, they are going to have more prominent lines. And unfortunately, they are going to be candidates for fillers on the lip. So lip filler is an amazing treatment solution for the lip area. But you need to go into your doctor and say, what is bothering you? Is it the volume of your lips? Are your lips too thin? Are they not balanced enough, the top to the bottom? Have you got a missing top lip? Are they dehydrated? Are they looking a little bit shrunken? Or are you worried about the barcodes? Because those are all different injection techniques. So your doctor needs to know actually what the problem is. Not just my lip area. I'm concerned about my lip area. What about your lip area? So I go once every 2 years and I have my lips done. Mine is a dehydration. With age, they tend to shrivel a little bit. And I find that I don't like the dehydration look or the wrinkledy look. So I don't like to overpump my lips. I find that, you know, there's a nice happy balance. Some women love a very Angelina Jolie sort of lip. Not my kind of thing. But I go in for a rejuvenation once every 2 years, once every 18 months or so. Okay, so that covers, now that, just a warning on that. Even with numbing cream, it is something you need to psych yourself up for. It is a treatment that you need to be prepared for some discomfort. They will try and minimize. We always try and minimize. In our office, we put on a very strong lidocaine cream and we try and minimize the discomfort. We give you stress balls. We try and calm you. And then we will speak to you while we're doing the procedure, but there's a few little tetchy spots that you definitely do feel. You've just got to breathe through it, unfortunately. There's no other way to do it, but it's relatively comfortable because it's quick. So you're looking at about 15 minutes to do your lips, 15-20 minutes. And then the swelling thereafter just needs to subside, and if you unlucky enough to get some bruising. So that's the lip area. Then I want to discuss marionette lines. These lines that some people are unfortunate enough to get, that go down from the corner of the lip down to the chin area. And that again, Dermapen's going to help, but it's the slow method. It's the slow, natural method of getting your skin to create its own collagen and thicken up and stop the sort of the gravity, because that's what's happening. Is as soon as the gravity kicks in and things start to go down, you're going to get marionette lines. So the quick, easy approach, once again, the mailer lift does improve it. You'll see ever so slightly, I get a nice improvement here and there. So to me, the mailer lift is always one of my favorite areas for a client to see a result. And then the other is to put filler into that groove area directly and smooth that out. There is a method of putting Botox into these corners as well, and that will just lift the corners of your lips so that you're not unhappy in your resting face, that it just literally curls the corners up slightly. And that's another lovely treatment to do. So there's a lot that can be done in this area where people have got problems, because this tends to be the aging third of the face. So the other thing is, resting little lines, are like crepey lines, can be treated really well with monthly Dermapen. And that is the right way to do it. I'm going to tell you that's the right way for fine lines. When your texture of your skin is not good, you should be reaching for your therapist to do microneedling or Dermapen on you and get that collagen working again. You can use fillers in it. Very fine filler, quite an uncomfortable procedure, because you are literally going into each little line and you are almost making a support so that the line doesn't recreate all the time. But you're talking about a lot of little injections, and it's not actually addressing the underlying problem, which is collagen loss and elastin breaking down in your skin. So really, I must recommend microneedling or Dermapen. If you had to combine microneedling and your fillers and Botox, you are going to be good to go into your 60s and still not have that serious aging, sort of haggard look. If you can, I know it's financially draining, but the combination of injectables and on-the-bed treatments, it really is. It's almost like a 3D facelift. So if you can really focus on doing your Botox, doing a little bit of lifting filler every now and then making sure that you're microneedling in a therapist environment, you are going to preserve your youth. You're preventing the serious crash of the face. I do treat a lot of clients that are in their 50s and 60s, and we still get a great result because we are stimulating their skin again. Their skin has kind of gone to sleep, and we stimulate it, and we get amazing results in this area. So don't neglect it and think that you're too far gone for skin therapy treatments. You're not. And there's no too far gone for filler. And I don't believe in the Botox for Bay that you are too far gone for a bit of Botox. There's always room for improvement. And you've got to be happy with what you see in the mirror. Like I say, you really have to be. The other area is the jawline. Some clients seem to want a straighter jawline. Again, that's done with fillers. Very popular procedure lately is the chin. Chin augmentation has become a huge trend in the States, starting to sort of gain popularity in South Africa. But it's the clients who get a little bit older and the chin seems to pull up. we managed to relax it with Botox because we want this triangular face. That's the face of beauty, if you of youth and beauty. As we get older, it becomes that everything sort of sags down to here. So you can also put filler into the chin area to augment it, to extend the face, and make it more triangular. So a lot can be done in that area as well. I'm giving some of you lots of hope here. And then my last final bang for buck is the double chin. I have a fantastic product that I have seen huge results. If you see my Facebook page, you'll see befores and afters. As long as you're not allergic to shellfish, you can have a fat dissolving injection into this area, and that definitely helps with the profile, helps with your frontal view, is that you don't have that hanging down there. Okay, so that's one shot into this fat pocket over here. It's done with a phosphatidylcholine or a PPC injection. It spreads about 10 centimeters. So it's a nice big area that it spreads, and it really, really does work. It's repeated after 2 weeks, and just got to drink a lot of water, and it really, really does work. So normally 2 to 3 treatments, and you've got a great result there. The other thing is RF facials. We do the neck and the décolleté, and we use the probes to lift the skin, and the radio frequency does tighten the skin and create collagen at the same time, and it's a very comfortable procedure to do. But definitely I would, I can be walking in a shopping center and I see somebody with a double chin, and I literally want to go up to them and shake them and say, I can help you. You don't need to have that double chin. So yes, that's that. It's called Lipolite, and it's just a phosphatidylcholine fat dissolving injection. And that's basically it. Okay, the loss of collagen in the neck, that mottled appearance, and the sort of sun damaged look on the chest, those I would approach again with microneedling. We do skin peels in those areas. I find skin peels are just to give you a nice glow and to clear a bit of acne. I don't find the results as satisfying as microneedling. We do RF. I start on the chest and the neck, and then we work up on the face towards the hairline. So no Botox or fillers in this area. You can do a vampire facial, which is platelet therapy. They draw blood from your arm, and then they do lots of little micro injections. But microneedling does the bomb. It's going to change the way your skin looks. So if you guys have any other questions, areas that bother you, and you're not sure how to treat, please drop me a message underneath, and I'll definitely be able to answer you and give you some good advice. But that's to me, I mean, there's no area that we can't improve. Technology is so advanced and so amazing. So yeah, I hope this answered some questions, because a lot of clients are very confused between fillers and Botox. So Botox puts muscles to sleep, sort of paralyzes them temporarily. Filler is more for the grooves and the hollows in the face, and that sort of pumps up the area. So you've just got to think that Botox is generally above the eyes, from the eyes and above, and fillers are generally from here down to the jawline. That's the main thing. Both treatments are really not super painful. Lips are but the only one I need to kind of psych my clients up, and they need to be realistic that there are going to be needles going into your lips. So there are lots of little nerve endings on the lips, and we do numb as much as possible, but you are going to feel just a tiny bit. But when you have lovely hydrated plump lips for a year and a half, it's definitely worth a little bit of discomfort. And yes, so that's Jackie summed up the problems we see in the mirror and what we can do to resolve them. I wish we were all as confident in ourselves as my lazy cat that's like just jumped up onto my desk here. He has no qualms or issues about how he looks. He's just unapologetically fluffy. And I will show you what he looks like. I'll put a little photo at the end. But I tell you, he just goes wherever he wants to go and doesn't give a damn about the rest. Okay, that's me signing off. I hope that helps you in some way. If you need a consultation or need some aesthetic advice or somebody to look at your particular areas that you're worried about, please drop me a message. Get hold of me either via Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or directly through the skin clinic, Lambton Skin Clinic. And I'll definitely try and give you some assistance and get you happier with what you're seeing in the mirror. Have a fabulous day, and then I'll chat to you guys soon on my next video, which I think is going to be home microneedling. Yes, and that's it. Have a fabulous day.